Hi everyone, I'm James Spinelli, founder and CEO of Great Valley Advisor Group. GVA is a leading technology-driven, full-service, registered investment advisor. GVA partners with select independent financial advisors to provide customized technology, investment strategies, compliance, and back-office solutions. This podcast will provide answers to common questions that are asked by advisors throughout the transition process by interviewing experienced individuals who have benefited from their transition to independence. Welcome to the GVA Way. Hi, I'm James Spinelli, founder and CEO of Great Valley Advisor Group, and this is episode number 19 of the GVA Way. I'm here with Carmen Andrews, founder and financial advisor of Simplified Financial. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about how she built her business, how she scales her business, and how she's doing both of those things to support her clients' needs and also utilizing GVA in a way to help that out. So Carmen, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And let's start off by understanding a little bit more about you, about yourself, and the overall concept of Simplified Financial.
Perfect. I'd love to share it.
Yeah.
So I started in the industry right out of college in 2001. I actually started with UVest and stayed there for a few years, worked my way up to being an IRA specialist. And at that time, you kind of had to make some moves to gain salary and positions in businesses. So I kind of made a couple moves in operation positions between companies. And in 2004, I found myself working for a financial advisor in marketing and helped these advisors grow their book of business. And when the partnership at that time no longer worked out for those gentlemen, I was brought in as an advisor in 2012. And I was already licensed. I had become licensed through my journey and was given the opportunity to be an advisor in 2012 and stayed with that firm until 2018 when I bought my book of business from my partner and created Simplified Financial, and it led me to where I am here today.
So would you say that was a key turning point, right? When you look back on it, you say that was kind of a key turning point?
Absolutely.
Right,
absolutely. Yeah. My attorney told me I had a buy-sell agreement with my former partner, and when I went to meet with my attorney, he said, the most dangerous thing in the world is an idea.
Yeah.
And that's always stuck with me because it was. Once I had the idea, and I realized succeed or fail, no one could take my knowledge away from me. No one could take what my core values and what I knew I had to offer.
Sure.
And if I had to start over, I had to start over. And at that point, it was freedom was all that I could see and smell.
Yeah, absolutely. And that takes a lot to make that transition, right? Because if you think about building the brand, and we've talked about this on podcasts before, and we work with other advisors around this. Can you take us through your mindset at that time? I know, it was years ago, right? But when you said Simplified Financial, why that name? Why did you come up with that?
I remember distinctly when I did it. I was driving to work, and I had just, I had this idea because I had to do a lot of background planning before I made the leap.
Sure.
And I was driving to work one day, still with the other firm. And I was like, Andrews Wealth Management, Andrews Retirement Planning. I was kind of going through all the names. And then I thought, what do I kind of stand for? And what do I want to do? And it was simplify. It was, folks come to you with investments or wanting to invest, and they kind of think they need a little bit of everything because this friend has this account and this friend has this account and mom and dad have this account. So they think they need all these different accounts.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Sure.
You just need to simplify life. And so Simplified Financial just stuck with me, and it resonated with me. And when I thought about it driving to work that day, that was it. That was, I knew that's where I wanted to be.
Absolutely. And I think once you come up with that brand and then you put it into the marketplace and you explain exactly what you had just explained to me on why you came up with the name and everything behind it, what have you seen from a standpoint of trying to grow that? We've seen really good growth with Simplified, with yourself on the GVA platform, which has been fantastic. What are some things that you said have led to that growth for you as a financial advisor and getting the name out there so people fully understand what you are doing?
Right. So I feel like the name, once I get that initial consultation with the person, those first few interactions, and they get that I want to make their life more simple.
Correct. And
I want to simplify saving and investing.
Yep.
That's really what I want to do and help them with. And, I spent a lot of time because I brought my book of business from my partner. So I had that to start with. And people knew me as Carmen Andrews.
Yep.
At the time, they didn't know me as Simplified Financial. And it's kind of strange because you're growing your brand name, but you're also growing your personal name when you're a small business.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes what I have found is clients will say, "Oh, well, call my financial advisor Carmen or Carmen Andrews," and so I'm known more so by Carmen Andrews, I think, than Simplified Financial sometimes.
Sure.
So in the community, because now I've moved my practice, I'm no longer in Charlotte. I'm not in a large market anymore. I'm more in the rural area of North Carolina. And so now I have spent time growing Simplified Financial.
Understood.
And making the green, my color's green for my company,
Yep.
making that a kind of statement. And people really pick up on that.
Sure.
And it's attention getting. And I think I feel like it's a welcoming name. It's a comfort.
Yep.
That saving and investing can be simplified. And a lot of people, I think, look past it, ignore it, because they're scared of it.
Because it's a hard conversation to
It
have
is,
sometimes.
it
You want to
is.
make sure that you present that in a way that makes them feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
And so let's pivot a little bit. And one of the points I had on here was, we talked about your brand
Mm-hmm.
and getting that out in the market. But then it comes time where you look at scaling that business, right? And I think this will really be important for advisors who may be looking to start their own brand, who may be looking to dive in, and who were in a similar position to yourself. So how does that scaling for you and your business, how does that take place? What operational support? Maybe there's some GVA operational support
Yes.
that we're helping with. But how are you doing it with meeting with clients, right? And prospecting, right? And trying to continue to grow. So we'd love to hear some insights.
Well, if I can back it up just a little bit from
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
As you know, I joined GVA a year ago.
Yep.
And up until that point, the former RIA that I was with, I felt like I was maintaining. I did not, the phrase "you don't know what you don't know" is the best way to describe it, because I had a firm, they were handling my trading, they were handling my compliance, but I did not know there was so much more available
Sure.
to help me grow. And so once I onboarded with GVA and got through that initial process, there was so much that GVA started taking off my plate or give me the opportunities to enhance and grow that I was just kind of blown away by the opportunities that I had with GVA. So truly, although I've been Simplified Financial since 2018, I almost felt like it was a rebranding of myself when I joined GVA, because then I felt like I had the support and the capacity to grow my brand.
Yep.
For so many years, it was, maintain, and it was just keep your head down and, work off referrals and not really find those next opportunities. And because you're busy trying to take care of all the owner tasks and the things that aren't even associated with being a financial advisor to run a business, that I didn't have time to do the other things.
Yep.
And now I feel like I actually do have those opportunities. So that kind of in a roundabout way answers the question.
Of course it does. It's perfect.
Because it's the support that I've gotten through GVA that's now letting me learn to scale my business.
Of course, yeah. And that leads right into the next question of how you're scaling, right? We had a conversation over lunch earlier here, and we talked about, hey, do I need to look into a junior advisor,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
like there's other factors as you continue to grow that start to pop up, right? And that's a whole nother conversation that
Right.
we can have, and you can get in depth on, is it the right person? Is it the right fit? Do I have the right outline for what that individual should be doing? because guess what? They're also going to represent the brand that you've built, and now you add a whole nother element into being a small business owner.
Yes.
And you want to make sure, which is my next question, you deliver the best client experience possible. So from your standpoint, how does Carmen Andrews of Simplified Financial deliver the best possible client experience? What would you say?
I would say what sets me apart, where I try to, the values that I won't waver on, the things that, I feel like I really want to give my clients are those personal touches and a connection. Most of my clients come in, and when I see them, we give each other a hug.
Yep.
We meet for an annual review. We spend more time talking about their grandkids, their kids, my kids, than we do necessarily the investments sometimes. Of course, we get to that and we talk about all that, but it's that personal touch. It's, I want to know my clients by name, by voice when they call. And they always are, oh, you know who I am, and that makes them happy. We birthday cards are handwritten every month. I send a $5 gift card to either Chick-fil-A or Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh man, Chick-fil-A, you get me right there. Yeah,
exactly. I kind of go back and forth, but they appreciate that. They call and thank me for it, and it's handwritten. Happy birthday to to James, and thank you from Carmen, or Carmen and Genesis, my assistant. So it's those personal touches that let them know I care, because I feel like when the markets get rough, if they know that I genuinely care about them, they know I have their best interest at heart.
Yep.
They know that I'm paying attention to the markets. They're not then as consumed with what's happening in the market, because they know that I am paying attention to them.
Correct.
And that I care about them. So those personal opportunities to connect, I make sure I send my clients these Moravian sugar cookies that are made in North Carolina.
Okay.
For Christmas gifts. And I get a huge ton of great feedback on those. But it's just the personal touches that do cost me as an advisor more money.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's money well spent, because it's
absolutely.
And I've seen it work. I've had a client that he had moved some of his assets over to me, but not all of them. And he had told me, he said, my birthday's coming around. If I don't get a call or a card from another advisor, this other account's yours. I have all of his money now. And but he was with a large.
I don't know. Maybe you held that. Maybe you told the other advisor, maybe not make a phone call in that situation.
He was with a large. He was with a large bank.
Sure.
He was one more client. He was a fish in a big, in a big pond.
Yeah.
Just that different touch that he was able to get from me, and and so that just stuck with me.
Cool.
And I thought, if you ever question how much is a $5 gift card worth, I can tell you it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. And the relationship that comes along with it, right? I mean, that's a huge factor there. So we have two more questions here, and the last one's going to be around what would be advice you would give to an advisor looking to maybe start their own practice? What would be give me one or two of the number one takeaways that you may have done that you said, and maybe I would have done it differently, right? As a business owner looking back, or maybe you're like, I wouldn't have done it differently. This is absolutely how you should look at it. So just a couple takeaways of building that.
I would look at what your strengths are as a person.
Yep.
Of the financial advisor duties and tasks, what do you enjoy doing?
Yep.
And focus on that. Me, it was relationship building.
Sure.
And that's what I wanted to do. So find what you're good at, and if it is in the relationship aspect, if it is gathering assets, find that and let yourself focus on that while you hire, outsource, use resources from within. Hopefully, someone's considering GVA or someone that can team up with them to offer those things. But figure out what it is that you're good at and what you have a passion for, so then it doesn't feel like work.
Yep. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So that and that's what I did. That's what looking back, that's what I did. I thought, I don't want to give this up, but I don't want to do it the way I've been doing it.
Yeah.
And so that's how I came up.
And it gives you different opinions on maybe what you thought was the right direction for you, but maybe it's not, right?
Right.
And one of the things I know that we're handling on the behalf of Simplified is the investments, right?
Yes,
and working with the investments team around that. And I know we helped with the website and the marketing.
Yes, yes.
Those are things that maybe make more sense to outsource or use someone else so that you can go and do prospecting and focus on building the business in different channels there.
Yes, before GVA, when I went and decided to go out on my own, my biggest not fear, but I guess what I stressed about the most was a website, was technology.
Yeah.
Because I know how to be a financial advisor, but I don't know how to run a website. I don't know how to update a website, and I didn't want to know how to update a website. Yeah. But everybody wanted to send me a how-to video, and I didn't. So when I remember talking to you just over a year ago, telling me that you guys would completely rebrand my website, just start from scratch, make it over. And that's one of those pivotal moments that was like, are you kidding me, really? Yeah. And because that wasn't where I wanted to spend my time. Yeah.
Totally.
And then the technology side of things.
Yeah.
I know you have a niche for that. I know that's one of your passions, but it's not mine. Yeah. And
nor should it be, right? I mean, you want to rely on subject matter experts or individuals in the field that can help you.
Exactly. And what I have found is GVA, if it's not something you're doing in-house, every time Kate or Steph, somebody can get me in touch with somebody that can.
And that's great. That's really good feedback. So thank you for that. Let's leave the audience learning a little bit more about yourself. So outside of Simplified Financial and being a financial advisor and running a business, when you have extra time, what do you enjoy doing? And what's some takeaway that someone could connect a little bit more personally? What is something that you truly enjoy?
I love being at the beach. We have a house at Oak Island.
Okay.
And so I love being at the beach. Do that a few times a year, but most of my free time is spent with my girls, my daughters. I have a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old at home.
Yep.
And one has been an all-star cheerleader. We traveled all over the East Coast for her travel. She's cheered in Dallas, Texas, Disney World, all those big places. It's been fun. Now she's a high school varsity cheerleader, so I'll spend my Friday nights at the football field.
Yep.
And then my other daughter rides horses. She rodeos, barrel racer.
Wow.
And so after spending so much time at the barn with her, I took a passion to horses.
Okay.
And took up horseback riding. A little later than most in life.
Yeah.
But I enjoy learning to ride my horse.
Yeah. And
my husband and I both love being hands-on. We love projects.
Sure.
We did a big project around our pool pool in our backyard this summer, and we just love being outside.
That's great. Yeah. I figured I like the horse concept where if you're just spending so much time there, you might as well just join in on the fun, right? I mean, that's probably what we're doing.
That's kind of what
what the heck? Why not? I'll just start riding horses. And I think that's kind of, after having this conversation and getting to know you, that's just kind of your general attitude. Yeah. You're just going to take on that challenge.
And I love it.
That's fantastic.
But I've had a few clients that it's worked in well with.
Yeah.
And just things about my clients I didn't even know till I shared that with them, and they tell me about their situation. So it's been good. And that's what I do in my spare time and that's the reason actually that I left corporate, as I put it, to be a financial advisor on my own terms. Is I wanted to be a mom and a wife first.
Yeah.
Before being a financial advisor.
Yeah.
And the independence has afforded me the opportunity to do that.
That's great. Well, we'll leave on that note. Carmen,
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I look forward to having more of these discussions.
Great. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Thank you. The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.